People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone.
Hello YouTubers, so I wanted to bring you a quick movie review. It's getting to be that time of the year again, the summer season, when all the big hit blockbuster movies start to come out. And it seems to have started with Iron Man 3. So I went and saw that and wanted to kind of give you my quick review, just my thoughts on the movie. So I actually thought it was really cool. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Now I would say, one thing I would say is that personally I definitely, the first is absolutely still my favorite. And then between 2 and 3, I kind of like them about equally. I kind of can't decide between the two which one I like a little better. I'm going to try to keep it mostly spoiler-free, but tiny spoilers, so if you want to, if you're like, a purist and you haven't seen it yet and you don't like to have anything spoiled, what I'm going to do is, I would recommend you scroll now through the video until, I'll give you kind of like a spoiler warning and then an ending, Anyway. So one of the things, the only thing really that I kind of didn't like is I could have used more Iron Man. And you'll see what I mean, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, if and when you see it, you'll see what I mean. That's about the only critique I could have, but I mean, that was kind of important part of the storyline for that to happen, but, to me, it's just, Iron Man is cool, he's awesome, so, it's like, I want to see him, I want to see more of Iron Man. Other than that, I mean, the storyline was good, the villain was good, and there was kind of a funny little, I won't spoil anything, but there's something a little funny with that, and it's the Tony Stark we know and love. It's just pretty cool. I mean, there were some new elements to the character, especially after all the Avengers stuff. But so it's definitely one I recommend. One thing that I'll say is really cool, and it's kind of refreshing and surprising, is that for once, here's a series where, all the movies were actually good. And I mean, don't get me started, like, for example, the Spider-Man trilogy, the original Spider-Man movies. Personally, I mean, I like the third, but, it just, compared to the other two, it just wasn't good. You talk about the X-Men movies, the first two were awesome, and again, I still like the third for what it is, but again, it's really, in comparison to the other two, it's really just not good. So, I mean, this is refreshing in a good way, and almost surprising, because here was a franchise where, they've had the 3 movies, and they were actually all good. So, I just thought that was pretty cool. So, like I said, it's definitely one I recommend. I didn't like it as much as the first, and I kind of like it on equal par with the second. You can kind of expect that, though. I mean, anytime, especially, Iron Man, when the first one came out, it was such a huge hit. It's hard to follow up on that. But I think they at least followed it up with 2 movies that, whereas they might not have been as good as the first, they were still at least good. It wasn't like X-Men all over again. All right, YouTubers, thank you. Have a nice day.
Women so wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are running when you're down, when you're strange. Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. No one remembers your name when you're strange.